Welcome back to the Korn Ferry Tour Junkies podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Simmons, former caddy, fellow current gambler, current golf fan. We're back again for episode. I don't even know what we're at now. Finished up last week for the Louisiana stretch, first leg of the Louisiana stretch. We had Carl Jan bring home the victory, his first Korn Ferry Tour victory, edging out Peter Uihlein in a playoff. A little bit about Carl. Again, we're going to try to touch on some of these winners because these are going to be some of the guys. Most of the time, they're going to be on the tour. Obviously, it's not guaranteed with a win, but there's a great chance. 25 years old, University of Washington. Again, first Korn Ferry Tour win. He has knocked on the door a couple times with 3 runner-ups, and so it's good to see him finally get the job done. Has a win over in China as well as some amateur stuff when he was in school at University of Washington. So congrats to Carl. I was a little off of my picks. Had a couple ones. Again, it's hard to pick outright winners. Ben Coles, Mark Anderson, Eric Barnes, all knocked on the doors, T5, T12. So again, unfortunately, we don't have the top 10, top 20 matchup odds yet on these big books that the PGA Tour does, but we hopefully will have that coming back. Got a special guest on this week, another current caddy, good friend of mine. I was going to say former friend, still a good friend. Another former, caddied alongside with him, traveled a lot with him. So happy to have him on. We will kind of save the course preview for when Greg Dine comes on, just because we are at a new course this week, so I'm unfamiliar with it. Yes, I look like a raccoon. I just got back from about a 2.5 day, 16-man white call / golf bender. So I am coming off a little golf trip down in Lake Hartwell, Georgia, on the border of South Carolina and Georgia. So I am again apologize for the sluggishness and the sunburn, but we are going to battle through it. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome on a longtime caddy, current caddy, and for Kevin Doherty, who is a guy I love, and we'll touch base on him. But without further ado, Greg Dine, what's up? Welcome to the show.
What up, G?
Great to see you, man. What looks like you're at a house
Thanks
this
for
week.
having me on, man.
Absolutely. Looks like you're at a house this week. You're not sleeping in a hotel floor or anything.
No, we're in an Airbnb about 9 minutes from the Nugget.
Love it. The Lake Charles Championship. I didn't even touch on this earlier. We're at the Country Club at the Golden Nugget. What's going on down there? What's the golf course look like?
Man, it's kind of a weird vibe this week. I was talking to like a couple of my roommates, and it almost feels like mini tour vibe-ish out there this week. Very short golf course. Obviously, we just got a ton of rain overnight, and the course is super wet. But it's only 7,000 yards, wide open fairways. I mean, even you could hit these fairways, bud.
I'd still have driver 3-wood into the green, but so wide open fairways. I guess being wet means they're even wider now.
100%. I mean, you think you spray it 30 yards offline and you're right side of the fairway. So
right.
I'm expecting very low scores this week. A hot putter, obviously, it's always good to have a hot putter, but I don't know. I'm probably predicting 25 to 28 wins.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. Sounds like a normal, one of those high scoring Korn Ferry events. Cool. Well, Greg, take us back to kind of how you got in to start caddying, and then how you kind of got hooked up with Kevin, and then we'll touch base a little bit on how you guys are doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been around golf my whole life. My dad put a golf club in my hand when I was 4 years old. Started playing golf competitively around the age of 10. Played a little bit in college, and then pursued like the mini tour professional road. And I mean, it was just such a grind early on, and played professional for about 4 years. And I said, man, I don't think I could do this anymore. And the next best bet was, just I'm an adrenaline junkie, so it's like I want to compete, and I love being in the hunt. So it's like anything to like get my juices flowing. And the next best thing was to just try to get on a good bag and have those fields, you know.
Right.
So I it's a funny story. My first event was Stonebray in California in San Francisco. My buddy was Mondaying at trying to get into that event. He's like, dude, just if you don't like if I get in, whatever, come caddy for me, so and so. If I don't get in, just try to get a bag in the parking lot. I actually know Corby Siegel pretty well. He caddies for Brandon Hagee on the PJ Tour, and I just wanted to pick his brain on like how to start. And he's like, man, if you're clean cut, you'll get a job. So next thing you know, I'm like Monday at Stonebray in the parking lot trying to do my thing, like not trying to step on anybody's toes, but at the same time, like if anybody didn't have a caddy, I was going up to them. And next thing you know, Tuesday morning comes along and I get a phone call from Bobby Gates. When he's lives in Houston, played on the tour, and he he actually gave me a call and he's like, dude, you want to roll this week? And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. We actually ended up missing the cut by one, but caddied for him in a couple other events and then kind of got my feet wet. And I'm like, man, this is what I want to do, you know? And then kind of bounced around early on. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I want to kind of get a young buck and some kid that kind of hits it long. And anyways, I mean, I wasn't being super picky, but I mean, next thing you know, Kev and I started talking in 2018, and I was caddying for John Merrick at the time, and I only committed to like the first four events in 2018 Merrick. And after that, Kev's like, "Hey, let's touch base after that fourth event, and we'll give this thing a go." So I mean, yeah, he just liked the way I worked. He liked my work ethic, and that's kind of how it started.
Yeah.
That was 2018 in Mexico with Kevin. So I mean, now we're on our fifth year now, so it's pretty crazy how time flies.
Crazy. Yeah, no. I've heard someone use the analogy that caddying professionally is that, and coaching, maybe coaching basketball or coaching in any capacity, is the kind of the closest thing you can come to playing a professional sport without playing it.
100%.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
I do think you made the right decision in not deciding to move forward and playing, given the fact of me being able to whip your ass on Tuesdays and Wednesdays during, when I was out there during the week. If I'm beating you, then you got no chance.
Yeah, right. Ask Double D who's got the lick on that.
You probably have edged me out a little bit. Double D does have a between Double D and Gogs, we had some epic matches. Man, this might be.
Oh, those.
I'm not sure. Testing. Yeah, it might be a little bit better. Sweet. Well, again, I know you talked about being with Kevin for 5 years. That's, as most people know, maybe people don't, that's a long time for the Korn Ferry Tour. Even caddying in general, no matter what tour. I know Kevin has had his chances, has come as close as anyone can come without getting it. Year 5 in, one, obviously props to Kevin and you guys for sticking it out. I know there's a lot of players that want to just kind of, the caddy's the first thing they're going to dump. What's kind of been the mindset coming in year 5, knowing where, knowing you guys obviously are veterans, knowing you've been, that close, and, if at all, has it changed in the last, as each year goes on, or as this year goes on, has the mindset changed as the season gets started?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily about mindset has changed. I mean, Kevin and I have been through the highs and lows in this game, and like we've had all the adversity and we've dealt with it really strong as a team. And he the thing I like about Kev, he always uses we, and it's never I, and I really respect that about him. And I mean, 2018 we missed out on our PJ Tour card by literally an inch. Not like a shot, but like an inch. And yeah, that was was really hard. That was really, really hard. But he's gone. He's been through the ups, been through the downs, been in a couple of playoffs that we've unfortunately lost. But yeah, I mean, last year was just weird too with COVID, and it was just a weird year, man. And we didn't play our best golf, but when he had to do it, last event in Omaha, he was like, at the end of the day, we needed to get a top 10 to keep his status out here.
Right.
And we finished 9th to move us to like 74th and get us in the playoffs. So, I mean, that was just really good to see, kind of back against the wall. Really nothing to lose. Actually, a lot to lose at the end of the day. But no, it was just really good to see him kind of just, put his heart out there, man. And he's a grinder, man. I don't see any. I mean, I know a lot of guys work hard, but I mean, this guy goes all in on his nutrition, his workout routine, his everything, man. When it comes to golf, his work ethic is right up there with the best. So I love that about him. And I mean, our mindset going into this year, honestly, he's in a good place mentally, man. I mean, he's got a baby on the way, a baby girl coming in June. Yeah. So I think that has if things are going well off the golf course, that could relate to playing well on the golf course. And it's just nice to see him in it's just really nice to see him in a really good mindset. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to jinx anything, but man, I got a good feeling about this year. I really do.
Yeah. Well, if there's anybody that's overdue, it's definitely KD. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the golf course, and we'll get into some of the picks. I am curious with all of this. I know it's less of an impact, or maybe with all this crazy shit going on with Live Golf, PGO. What's been the overall buzz out there with the players? Are there Korn Ferry guys saying, "Hey, if no tour guys are going to want to play, I'll play. I mean, this is I'll take a bag." Like, has there been buzz, or has there been kind of any sort of talk, or what's kind of the consensus been with all the players out there?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of dying down. I mean, I don't want to say it's dead in the water, but I don't know. I just feel like there was a big hype a couple weeks ago, obviously, with the whole Phil drama and, Norman sending a letter out to all the guys on tour. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, if you had to ask me, it's like the PJ Tour has been so good to these guys. These guys have an unbelievable lifestyle, like the PJ Tour has provided so much for these guys. And for them to kind of like backstab the PJ Tour and jump ship, I just think it's a bad look. And I just, the talk around here isn't, obviously, I mean, at the end of the day, they're the PGL, whatever you want to call it. They're playing for a lot of money, man. And that can actually, at the end of the day, people can jump ship just for the money.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think like I don't know. I haven't really heard too much lately if guys would go, but
right.
I don't even know who Norman's recruiting anymore, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, I was curious. I know there's a lot of people on a lot of platforms that have had kind of unanswered questions. I know Greg Norman's kind of on a media tour and getting on a bunch of pods. Greggy, if you're out there, you're welcome here any week, bud. But hearing him say 250 whatever, it's like, all right, well, that's more than most people on tour, the average tour event. So is he sending stuff out to obviously some European tour stuff, or Korn Ferry guys getting some stuff? I mean, it would be interesting to me if there's Korn Ferry guys saying, or guys that have been grinding for however many years, they're like, dude, I don't give a shit where I play. I'll go play in this league and play for more money than they played in the Players Championship this last year. And then after, say maybe a year of this Live Golf event, you got these guys on tour. You got, you're Kevin Kisner. Again, I don't know where Kevin Kisner stands. But I know in the past he's talked about, there's a lot of money, a lot of money for finishing 20th, saying, hey, I could kick these guys' asses, like these Korn Ferry Tour guys or whatever, whoever these guys are making X amount of million. Like, I got to get in on this. So, like, I'd be interesting to see the domino effect of, if 5 or 10 of the top players in the world say we're all going to play in these events that don't interfere with majors, that don't interfere with heritage events. Will they call the PGA Tour's bluff and say, okay, we're all going to play in these events and you're not going to let us come back and play on the PGA Tour? I don't know. It's interesting to see, but I just didn't know what the buzz was around the Korn Ferry Tour, especially because those guys, as you know, are a little bit, their money's more of an issue with the purses and all of that size. And so I could probably I say there's probably a handful of guys that if they had a chance to play on for a lot more money, and even if it was never playing on the PGA Tour,
No, you're absolutely right, man. At the end of the day, money speaks, and I mean, if somebody threw that figure at me, I mean, it would be hard to say no. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know if that Greg Norman and if they want it to be, I don't know what they want, but I mean, obviously we're on a developmental tour, right? What do you call it? Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so like I don't know where his head's at, but it would be interesting if he threw a whole bunch of dough at some of these guys out here that are grinding, and obviously our purses are 10 times less than the PGA Tour. So
right.
It would be hard to say no.
Yeah, it definitely would be. I know the PGL kind of has some sort of that's more of a league. They're trying to pair up with the PGA Tour. The Live Golf stuff has seemed just like 7 stray events, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it unfolds. But it is going to be interesting to see how and if some of those guys on the Korn Ferry Tour or have partial status, etc., could get on board. But cool.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're not budging though. They already have a schedule out, with no players.
Exactly. You don't know who's in, who's not in. You had all these guys the week of Riv kind of pledge their allegiance to the tour, and now, are they going to wait out and see? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, bud.
Cool. Well, I'm going to get into the picks. My picks for the week. We'll keep Greg on for it. We usually give him 7 to 8 winners. Again, outright winners is really all we have to choose from with the just the odds the way they are. Hopefully that changes as the year progresses. But 50 to 1, my favorites this week. I like Vincent Norman, 32 to 1. Again, I think he's a guy who's going to win this year. He's going to be one of those guys who gets his card, and if you pick this guy every week, I think you're going to hit one of them. My second favorite I liked, not after hearing Greg talk about the golf course. I kind of like Josh Teeter. He's played well down here in Louisiana. He can make a lot of birdies. Tour guy back and forth. He's playing this week. I'm riding out. We're sticking with him. But after hearing Greg's long ball, soft golf course, maybe he is not the best play. But I'm sticking with him. I'm getting credit when he gets the dub. Josh Teeter. Mid-range category. Played well last week. T3. Again, we're right down the street. Jose De Jesus Rodriguez. The Seuss is loose this week, GD.
The shrimp.
Coming in at 65 to 1. He's won the Korn Ferry Tour. No stranger to hoisting some hardware on the KFT Tour. I like the Seuss. Another guy that played really well last week, T5. And I don't know a lot about his game, but I see him towards the top of the leaderboard. Justin Suh, 70 to 1. Greg, you got any experience with this guy?
I mean, we've never played a practice round with him, and we haven't been paired with him yet. But I mean, I hear he's a good player. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the cream should rise to the top, right?
Heard that. Speaking of cream rising to the top, another former winner. Is not the first time I picked him. It won't be the last. It is the only winner I've hit the first week of the season, coming in at 60 to 1. Sorry, coming in at 95 to 1. Akshay Bhatia. Why not him? He could win any week.
You love that dude.
Love him, dude. Love him. Now, I said 60 to 1 because Data Golf has him projected at 60 to 1, so there's a lot of value there. DraftKings, 95 to 1. I mean, come on, dude. $100 to win almost 10 grand on someone who's already won, who bombs it.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad pick. He's obviously proven himself, young buck out here.
Well, the only kind of hesitation is he hasn't proven himself with a male that doesn't look great caddying for him. So we'll see.
Fact.
Maybe he'll be getting the old lady out soon. Next long range category. Again, another guy I think that has a lot of good value. I don't know if you've seen him play. I've seen him play a little bit before he got on this tour. Jeremy Paul, 120-1. Again, I think there's a lot of value there. And we'll leave it at that. Put that on the card. Last but not least, I had this on the card. I've picked him before. This isn't a guest pick. This isn't a kiss ass kissing pick. I like KD. Played well last week. Bombs it. Your talk of the golf course even reiterates my pick. 120-1 on DraftKings. Don't get any ideas, Greg. But I like him. I like KD. 120-1. Write him in. Pencil him in. My bomb this week. Another guy who I'm kind of going on past performance and going on a whim a little bit with no real stats or metrics to back it up. I like Kevin Roy, 160-1. What do we know about him, Greg?
That's a good pick, man. I mean, the guy seems like he's getting himself in contention a lot. So definitely knocking on the door.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. Before I let you run, I did want to just kind of ask you, if you had, being out there every week, seeing a lot of these guys, especially guys that I haven't been familiar with or weren't out there when I caddied, who is your favorite? Who's your favorite rookie or first year guy out there that you would say, hey, look out for this guy? Whatever comp you give him, hey, this guy's going to play in the PGA Tour for a long
time. Honestly, we played with Michael Fiegels yesterday in a practice round, and kid's got game, dude. Really, really good iron player. Had a really good college career at Illinois. Don't be surprised if you see that name in the top 25 at the end of the year.
Love it. Awesome. Well, Greg, it's great to catch up. Great seeing you, dude. We'll have to get up soon and try to plan. I don't know when I'll be geographically in your location, but good seeing your face, good hearing your voice, and tell all the boys I said hey.
Absolutely, my man. And your boy JJ says, what's up?
I tell you what, man, that JJ kid, man. Yeah. You never know what, man. Man, I miss that guy, man. We're gonna have him on the pod soon. I'm gonna arrange it. It's gonna take 2 hours to set up his technology, but it's gonna break the internet.
100%. You should definitely get on there soon. I mean, the guy's 80 years old and he's still trucking.
Yeah. That's gonna be I don't know why I haven't. I should have been a first guest or something, but yeah, JJ's coming on the pod soon. I'll ship him a computer if I have to. Greg, well, thanks again, man. You be good. We'll have a good week, and we're gonna have you back on for like 5 minutes next Monday once you guys hoist the trophy, and I was right with my picks.
My dude. All right, G.
One love. Be good.
Thank you, bud.
All righty. Well, that was Greg Dunn. Thanks again for him coming out. We had it's good to get a little bit of insight from a caddy on the ground that is seen the course, and again, a course that's new this year. Sounds like it's going to be a bomber's course. It's soft. Got a lot of rain today. Today was a washout, and so we will see how this pans out. Next week, we got a great show for you. We are going to be down in Pat's backyard at the Landings in Savannah. You may or may not see a special guest from one of the Tour Junkies OGs. Maybe not. Who knows what? It's worth tuning in. And I will maybe be less sunburned. Who knows? Might be in a different location. Might be with somebody else filming it. I don't know. I can't call it. It's going to be a good one. Don't want to miss it. And until then, again, get those screens green. I'm going to start doing some more prize picks. I don't even know if it's called hitting it. I picked five guys last week. 3 of them hit it. So that'll win you a little bit of money. I won some money, won like however what was like plus 200, plus whatever, hit 3 out of 5. I'm going to keep doing that. The PGA Tour, we got that rolling this week down in Austin for the match play. So look out for me there. Until then, again, I'm Garrett Simmons. Thanks for tuning in for the few that have made it 25 minutes. And we will see you next week in Savannah. See you.